Moin moin, hallo und aus besonderem Anlass, ¿Cómo estás, amigos?
Hey!
Hier ist
der braungebrannte.
Rockcast. Genau, der braungebrannte Rockcast, euer Podcast für alles Heavy und Metal und Rock. Und natürlich bin ich wieder dabei, Sven Schirmer, und da drüben, der raunt schon hier.
Der Tippi, genau.
Der Tippi ist auch am Start. Der Tippi ist auch am Start. Leute, wir sind total aufgekratzt, weil wir haben gerade unseren Saisonauftakt so richtig gut begehen können, weil wir haben ein Höllen-Interview. Ich meine, ihr habt jetzt eingeschaltet, ihr habt ja schon gesehen, mit wem wir gesprochen haben quasi. Und das soll unser Geschenk quasi zum Auftakt unserer zweiten Staffel sein, die wir haben. Dass wir gar nicht viel quatschen. Wir lassen heute mal den ganzen Bromborium drumherum, lassen wir mal weg und sagen euch einfach, dass wir einen tollen Gast haben. Ihr wisst, wer es ist. Bayley, Ex-Iron Maiden Sänger und wahnsinniger Schauter in der Metal-Szene. Und es hat echt Spaß gemacht, oder?
Ja, absolut. Also ich bin noch total aufgeregt. Klar, ich habe den Typen 95 das erste Mal gesehen, mit Maiden zusammen. Ich höre ihn live, du hörst ihn auf Platte live. Es war großartig und es war so ein netter Mensch. Das war so emotional, das war Hammer.
Netter Mensch ist fast ein Understatement. Der Typ, der ist energiegeladen, dass wir thematisieren es im Interview auch mal ganz kurz, dass der gerade einen Herzinfarkt hatte in diesem Jahr. Das merkst du ja kaum. Der ist sowas von eine Granate und so leidenschaftlich für die Musik, die er macht. Und was ihn ja auch wirklich besonders auszeichnet, ist ja auch sein Verhältnis zu seinen Ex-Bands, sei es Wolfsbane oder sei es Maiden. Da wird ja nie verbrannte Erde hinterher gezogen, sondern das ist ja alles immer auf Augenhöhe. Und wir reden...
Er war auch gerade auf der aktuellen Maiden-Tour in Manchester, hatte natürlich auch, war auf Einladung der Band da, also er ist immer noch freundschaftlich mit ihnen verbunden, von daher alles gut, genau.
Total, und das merkt man auch, er spielt ja auch selbst noch Live-Songs, er kommt bald auf Tour, aber dazu müsst ihr jetzt gleich das Interview hören, wenn ihr genau wissen wollt, wann das ist. Also zu viel wollen wir nicht verraten, aber wir können sagen, dass der Blaze da wirklich ganz, ganz tolle Sachen gesagt hat und ein spannenden Ablauf, einmal kompletten Ritt durch seine Geschichte, ne? Durch seine Solo-Karriere und Maiden und alles.
Ja, genau. Und wer ihn live noch nicht kennt, wer ihn noch nie gehört hat, der sollte sich das neue Album einmal kaufen, und zwar Damaged, Strange, Different and Live ist das neue Album. Ihr bekommt es handsigniert von ihm für, ich glaube, 22 € auf seinem persönlichen Webshop Blaze Bayley, und das war's eigentlich schon. Das war der Werbeblock. Ich finde, das muss man einfach sagen für ihn.
Es wäre nicht unser Sammler Tippi, wenn er nicht auf sowas hinweisen würde. Ich bin da ein bisschen anders gestrickt. Ihr findet es natürlich auf dem freundlichen Streamer von nebenan, findet ihr das Album auch. Aber nichts ist natürlich schöner als eine schöne Scheibe Vinyl. Ne?
Genau, Haptik.
Nein, es hat so viel Spaß gemacht und wir zwei sind so aufgekratzt, dass wir euch jetzt mit Blaze und ein bisschen uns, glaubt uns, wenn wir sagen, wir sind wenig zu Wort gekommen. Aber es hat Höllenspaß gemacht und es ist mit Sicherheit ein Highlight, mit dem wir gerne unsere Staffel beginnen, und deswegen lassen wir uns auch unser ganzes Gelaber, was wir sonst vorweg machen, einfach mal weg. Für viele von euch vielleicht jetzt schon zu viel Gelaber gewesen, deswegen machen wir jetzt einfach hier mal einen kleinen Cut und wünschen euch jetzt viel Spaß, nicht mit uns, sondern mit Blaze Bayley, dem großartigen... Es war ein Traum. So, wir trinken jetzt weiter das Bierchen, was wir uns schon eingeschenkt haben. Wir trinken weiter das Bier
und wir da draußen hören uns in 2 Wochen wieder. Macht's gut, danke, ciao.
Bis dann, ciao. Welcome to our first interview for the second season of Rockcast. Actually, we kick off our second season with a deep dive into the musical journey of the iconic vocalist, metal legend, ex-Iron Maiden, and Wolfbane singer, Mr. Bayley Alexander Koch, better known as Blaze Bayley. Welcome, Blaze.
Hello.
Hi.
It's good to have you in the podcast. Thank you very much for joining us today. And to be honest, it's quite an honor. You got 2 fans over here. We try not to geek out too much. But first of all, we have to ask you, I mean, you had some health problems in the past month. You had a heart attack in March, as far as I remember. Are you well today?
Yeah, I'm recovering and I'm slowly getting my strength back. It's a long recovery to be completely healed. So yeah, I'm getting my strength back, exercising. I have to stay active now. my voice hasn't suffered too much, but obviously it's a long break since any concerts. So we've started some gentle rehearsals. That's starting to come back. I'm getting the strength back in my voice. And we've got some more gentle rehearsals coming up. So I'm very excited that I'll be back on stage in October, November and December for UK shows, and then March in the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, we're all looking forward to that. Absolutely.
We saw there are 2 gigs in Germany. Would there be more in Hamburg or in Berlin or something like that?
I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm. What happens is we partner up wherever we can with independent venues. And of course, people struggle and venues close. I think it was Nuke Club in Berlin, are just fantastic, wonderful people, loved the venue. They've closed and it's going to be redeveloped as something else. So that happens to us. So it'll be a case of when we get something from fans that say, oh, there's a new club and think that we'll get in touch and do that. But generally, we will add what we can and then come back next time to do a few more. But what I love to do is do it the old-fashioned way, and that is if I sell out a venue, don't go bigger, just do an extra night.
Yeah.
I've done that a few times in Germany. I just love it. Same hotel, a couple of nights, no driving, turn up. You can have a little rehearsal on the next day and sound check. It's so nice. So I like to play smaller, more intimate venues. I still play big festivals and do some big things and support bigger bands. But generally speaking, I play more intimate places, and rather than go, oh, I'll do the next venue up the next size, then I'll do the same venue twice, 2 nights in a row. And that's the way I like to do it. And I think it's a gentler way, if you can do it, of touring. So we're always looking at new places to play. We love playing in Germany.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it there. And I feel that it's a place where the fans in Germany, and this is not any kind of criticism, but the fans in Germany are a little bit tougher because they really listen to what you're doing. And a German fan will not give their loyalty easily. They will make sure you're worth it. And for me, the incredible feeling is to have so many fans in Germany and have that loyal support. It's an incredible feeling. And last year when we did festivals and then did our own small tour, we had so much support, man. It's absolutely incredible. It takes a lot of years to do that, but it's something when I'm there in Germany touring, I just feel so good. Oh, man, we got the support of the German fans. That's very, very special to have for me.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to see you. Definitely.
Yeah.
So there is hope that you will be in more than 2 small cities in Germany. So that's great.
We intend to. We'd like to build up to 15, 20 shows in Germany if we can. That's okay. Aim over the next 2 or 3 years. We'd love to be able to do that, and hopefully we will be able to do that if fans think that we're worthy of their support.
Cool. Yeah, great. I saw you first time I saw you was with Maiden. I know you. Maybe you see it. It is the original ticket from 1995, including the X Factor mark I use every day. So, but what happened? I changed to your music, to your solo career, and I love the most thing. You know it. You sign it. I love it.
Oh, great.
It's vinyl. Thank you so much for your music. So let's begin by talking about your career, your solo career. Your journey has been remarkable. How does the creative approach differ when working on solo projects compared to being a part of a band of like Maiden or something like that?
Well, it was a fantastic experience for me joining Maiden. I had to audition like anybody else, and I was lucky. I never thought I would be the next singer of Iron Maiden. I thought my voice was too different, but just by the stars aligning and coincidence, whatever it was, that period where Bruce Dickinson left, that was a period that started the more progressive era of Iron Maiden, and I think they wanted a different voice to go with that, not the same voice that they had before. So the whole thing was a big change, not just the fact that you had a new frontman, but you also had a new singer with a different sound, and the band changed their sound a little bit and the direction. When I joined the band, Steve Harris said to me, there is no music written for the next album. He said, I don't care who writes the music, it just has to be great music. So that was all open. I had quite a few lyrics and different ideas. So I worked with Steve Harris and with Janick and later with Dave Murray. And it was exciting, you know, I'd written a lot of songs before in Wolfsbane. We worked a certain way, and in Maiden they worked a certain way, but essentially still the same thing. Sit down in a room with a guitar and maybe a few words, a little idea of what you're going to do. Has that sound to you? Oh, we could go there. Oh, what about this? That just the same as almost everybody ever in rock and metal's ever done it. Just sit down, Lennon and McCartney, two guitars, singing, whatever. So just like that. And I think we had some fantastic results from that collaboration. You know, from Man on the Edge was a top 10 hit in the rock charts around the world. And it was top of the pop charts in some countries. So we knocked Madonna off the top of the charts with the X-Factor album, man. That was such a great feeling. Oh, Madonna, Maiden, #1. It was fantastic, man. I'm like, yes, this is metal. We are doing it. And it was great. And it was a time when I think the UK press, the magazines, their fashion sometimes, and they were saying Maiden was over. And in places like Germany and Spain, well, the rest of the world, Maiden was still strong. People were going, okay, well, what's the new singer going to be like? But we're still playing to 20,000, 10,000, 60,000 people at different places around the world. And in the UK, a lot of the journalists were saying, Maiden is over. It's all grunge now. Ha ha. We saw what happened to that. But the fans never left. The Maiden fans, they were still like, yeah, okay, we still believe we're here. So I think it was a good time creatively. Yeah. I learned so much from Steve Harris. A vast experience in the studio and recording and live. So what would happen is we'd be doing something and he'll go, you know what happened live? We'll do this. I went, what? And it's like 3 jumps ahead of where I would have been. And it took me from a place where at that time in Wolfsbane, it felt like if we got a good song, it was a bit of luck that we had all the elements, but to get them together, it was a bit of luck that we had. Where working with the guys from Maiden and with Steve Harris, it was like, I know where I want to go. And if I'm not going there, we abandon that idea. We work on something new. And you know, it was great. Yes, no, it goes here now. It does this. That's it. It's okay. And also thinking about how you're going to record it. Yeah, when we record it, we'll have it like this. And So it's such an education in so many ways that now in my writing, I'm a producer as well. I produce my own records and collaborate with Chris Appleton as a co-producer. Now when I'm writing, a part of the process, you're going, and when we record it, what will the drum do? And we'll need a bit of space here to get this particular word to make sure that vowel sound. Do we really want a word that starts with an S in that particular place where we know we're going to have a crash cymbal? Or do we take it? So it's a lot more to it. But of course, it's immensely satisfying as well. So, I think it's changed by now. It's still very much, I'll have an idea for a melody. It used to be a little tape dictaphone. Now it's the phone. I'll record my melodies. I'll record lyric ideas. I'll put them on the notepad. And then when it comes to the time to write, okay, what have I got? Is anything good? Or is it worthwhile? And it used to be like 100 pieces of paper and napkins and beer mats and who knows what. And you go, oh, that bit of paper there, all in a big box that you turn out over the floor and start going through. And then, I've used that one, throw it away. Oh no, I'll keep that one in the box. Maybe it'll come out. And I had a couple of lines that I must have written more than 10 years and they never worked, but I liked them. And I picked them up for my Blood and Belief album. I was writing that and I thought, oh, what's that? Oh, no, it rhymes with this. It goes with that. And that was it. Can you know it? I looked at it every album. No, it didn't work. No, but it worked on that one. So you just never know. I think the guys from Magnum who are local, who I became friends with, Tony Clarkin from Magnum said to me, keep writing, keep your ideas coming, keep in the habit of writing. And that's a good thing because there's nothing worse than, okay, time to record, time to rehearse, let's get right. What have you got? Oh, and you've just got this, you've got, I don't know, that's the most terrible feeling. Well, the deadline is the end of March, so it's got to be finished by then. I have nothing. It's horrible. So I try never to be in that situation again.
Yeah, but how do you approach new projects? I mean, it sounds as if you're going to approach a new album, for example, on a song-by-song basis, or do you sometimes? I mean, I think your variety became bigger and bigger. I mean, you have more distinctive style. Sometimes you're more introspective. Sometimes you're more straight rock out of the bass. Is there a concept sometimes? I mean, of course, you get the trilogy albums, but how do you approach your next projects?
Well, I've got a big whiteboard and I'll put my ideas up and just start feeling, this one goes, this one feels good, this one doesn't feel so good. And I think going back to Silicon Messiah, I had a few ideas about technology, sci-fi movies that I thought were very relevant at the time and are still relevant to what's going on now. And subjects that really interest me then that are factual or movie-based or things, I'll write about those. And then other things where I feel I'm going through a challenge, if I'm struggling with my mental health and things like this, I'll write about that. But there has to be something for me, some angle, something that's different, that is, this is a truth. There's a truth in this. Even if it's about a fictional story, there's still a truth that's a human truth. So I wrote songs about Galileo and other scientists on my last album. There's Stephen Hawking.
Yes, great song.
To write about as well. So I write about that as well. Whatever interests me, I try not to limit myself. Really, and with my trilogy, the Infinite Entanglement trilogy, we started. I had this thing where I just said I got nothing, And then I looked through my notes and I got something, but I thought, is that a lyric or is it an idea for a book? And I started putting it to the music, and it was whoa. And I eventually had 16 songs, and when I added it up, that was too much for one album. And then I looked at a couple of the songs, and one song in particular, I thought, that's part 3 of a story. And that's when it hit me. This is 3 albums, a beginning, a journey, and an ending, an arrival. So I've got these songs already for the first one. I've got to find another 4. I've got this one which fits in the middle and these 2 which fit at the end. And I said to my manager at the time, it's going to be 3 albums, 3 tours in 3 years. And he goes, that's a lot of work.
Well.
As I thought, so many times people start big projects and they go, well, it'll be finished when I feel it's finished. No, it has to be done. It has to have a deadline, because it could stretch on forever and it may never be finished, and then it could just be not very good. So that's what I did, and I am very proud of it. I think it turned out really well. The infinite entanglement idea, the trilogy, the whole concept of someone who does not know if they are human, and then discovers that they still have human thoughts and feelings, but they have a machine body, and their intelligence and personality has been put into a machine, and they have been lied to get there by the person that they loved, that they trusted the most. And then somebody wants to destroy them and stop them reaching a new world after entrusting them to get them to the new world. So it's a big story that I'm very proud of. And with War Within Me, what happened was, there we were in the lockdown and with these restrictions, and it was, you know what, if you're a Blaze Bayley fan and you've waited 2 years for an album, it better be a good album, and it better not be miserable, because we've all been miserable for the last 2 years. So Chris and I looked at each other, and Chris said to me, shall we start it all on this old acoustic guitar? I was, yeah. So we did everything by one song on my old battered green acoustic guitar. It doesn't even plug in. And we just sat at our work. Okay, here's my lyric. Everything had to be positive. Every chord we did. Well, is that a good ending? Does that feel uplifting at the end? Is this going on the right journey? Is this musical section, this instrumental, does that make you feel good? Do you feel empowered? If you're at the gym, are you going to go a bit faster on the treadmill? Or are you going to go, I can't wait till this section's over? So, you go note for note almost. We went through it bit by bit. And so at the end of War Within Me, you're facing your own doubts. You're facing your fears. You're facing your inadequacy. And then you are going, yeah, but I will face it and I will get through it. I'm going to do this. And that's the idea of the War Within Me album, that you should feel, if we've done our job well, you should feel at the end, you know what? I'm going to have a go. I'm not just going to take it. I'm going to get back. I'm going to come back, because everybody has tough times. And when you're going through hell, just keep going.
Yeah.
That's the idea of the War Without. We're all weak. We're all vulnerable. We all fall down. We all are self-destructive sometimes, but we don't have to put up with that, and we can still try to escape what some people say, well, that's just fate you're stuck with. Well, I'm sorry, I don't believe in that kind of fate. I believe in a fate that you can grab with your own hands and kill and replace with a new fate that you have chosen. And that's the idea of it. So hopefully, if we've done well, that works. And now we have Damaged, Strange, Different, and Live. And what I wanted to do was take some of those songs, which we loved so much performing from War Within Me album, but they develop outside the studio. And so, right, take these little things where, now we're living with it and the breath is in a slightly different place and the tone of voice, and you have your wonderful, wonderful fans there and they know the song as well. And so I took that title, Damaged, Strange, Different, and Live, from the lyric to the song Warrior, which is about choosing your own internal dialogue. You choose the words that describe you, not anybody else, not the government, not people on the internet, not your employer, not no one. You choose the words that describe you. And you choose a good word. Choose warrior, because that's the word I'm choosing for my fans. Just to get to a gig and make enough money for the ticket and buy the T-shirt, they are warriors to me. And so that's why we did it. And then my Iron Maiden past, my heritage that I'm so proud of, you know what? We do those songs a little bit differently. I have a different idea of bringing those songs to life. They're like old friends that we bought new clothes for them and a new battle jacket with new patches. So I wanted to do that. So that's why we have that album. It's two halves. It's the new songs that we're so proud of, and it's the Maiden songs with our own interpretation and arrangement. And many fans will just go, oh yeah, it's the same. If you know it, then like Sven, if you know that album, you hear those little details, you hear those little changes, you go, they've done that there. That's how I feel.
Yeah, definitely. What you definitely managed is that we pulled ourselves up again to recite one of your songs, and the album's absolutely, it's astonishing, great, and it really achieves exactly what you said. What's really fascinating to me is when you said about writing and doing the acoustic stuff. That reminds me of the December Wind project.
Yes.
Where everything is acoustic, and where where your voice is so brilliant, and together with the acoustic setup, you realize what kind of a great singer you are. Is it something that you obviously you do, but do you realize that is it that just with the acoustic setup that your voice becomes even more important, or don't you see it that way?
It's much more difficult with the acoustic, just with the acoustic only, because as a part of it, you're part of two, really, sometimes three with the violin, but with the full metal setup, you're part of five and a bit more sometimes. So it is a different feeling. The voice is so much in the spotlight. It becomes more than just the lyric and the melody. It becomes the whole instrument as well. So how that is expressed, the instrument comes out a lot more. So I love doing my acoustic things. But my manager often, we used to say, we could do these acoustic shows and I'm fit them in. I'm going, but the acoustic shows are much tougher than the metal shows, because it's like I have to find another third of my voice. There's another third that I have to find there to express the whole thing. And
exactly.
So it's much tougher to sing. I love to sing, so obviously it's a joy to be able to sing for my fans at all. I love to do my acoustic, the classical side of it, and do my storyteller shows unplugged and everything. But it's a lot on my voice. But I thank you for your wonderful compliment. For me, it's what is important is to be expressive. But I realise, because it's the same for me, that these things are very subjective. And for some people, my voice is their favourite voice. And for some people, it's the worst thing. It's like a pig being strangled for some people. And, for me, if I don't like the singer, I don't like the band. So I think it's okay not to like my voice. It's okay not to like me. That's absolutely fine. All I would say is don't rely on someone else's opinion. Make up your own mind. If you listen, spend 30 minutes listening to Blaze Bayley songs, and then you think, nah, it's not for me. That's fine. But don't listen to someone who says, oh, don't listen to Blaze Bayley, he's rubbish, because you don't know until you've heard it yourself. It's fine if you don't like it, but make up your own mind about my music. And I think that's a really cool thing about being on tour in Germany. You know that nobody was hyped, that people are there because they listened. They thought, does this make sense? Is it good? And then, then do I like it? So they made sure it was good before they even decided to like it. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I talked to Klaus Pfannenscheid yesterday, friend of mine, and you know it. You worked sometimes with him. And we saw that you've done projects with several German metal artists. It seems you have a close ties with German metal science. Is it correct, or is it you work with Doro?
Very lucky to have spent time working with Doro Pesch on the Classic Diamonds, and to be on that tour with the orchestra. Oh man, it was just fantastic to sing with the orchestra, sing a couple of my own songs, a couple of classic. It was just and the one time we did one gig in the cave with the orchestra, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, really, really cool. And I've been on tour with Udo Dirkschneider as well, doing some classic stuff with him. So yeah, there is an affinity, really, I suppose, with this. It sounds like a cliche, but I'm not really scared of being cheesy and a cliche in that way. I don't really give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. But we are metal, and I've been on the Wacken cruise several times as the main singer on the special guest band, and doing a couple of things on there. And you know what? There you are with a few thousand other metalheads on the boat, mostly German, and just feeling so good, man.
Yeah,
so good that you're in the brotherhood, men, women, whoever. Everybody is there as part of the heavy metal family, and it's such a lovely feeling. And we're not scared to go, yeah, we love metal. It doesn't mean that I don't like and really enjoy other kinds of music, but cut me and I bleed metal. That's the way it is. And I think that's the way it is for a lot of fans. Listen to all kinds of music, but when it comes down to it, if you really need that extra help to get motivated, you're going to look for your favourite metal artist. Be that, if that's Nightwish, Sabaton, Udo Dirkschneider, or Blaze Bayley, or Michael Schenker, whoever that is, you're going to reach out for that. And that's who we are. And I think all of us that are metalheads, no matter what we look like, we all accept that. Yeah, that's who I am deep down. You may think I am an immature, nerdy geek. Well, I never said I wasn't. So,
Oh, sorry. Will you be at the 40 years show of Doro? If it's not secret, I don't know. There's a 40 years anniversary show in October, but I have no idea if that's the time if you go on tour for yourself.
Yeah, I'm on tour. I'm on tour with Blaze Bayley yeah, it's my Blaze Bayley shows, and then November, December, it's my Wolfsbane show. So I don't think I'll be going there. If there is a way, then obviously I will, but I don't think I'll be going there.
Yeah, okay.
we also heard about that your 30 years Maiden shows are going to happen. Is that right?
Yeah. Our first one is a tour of Ireland, where I haven't been for a long time. And it's just as it is on Damaged, Strange, Different and Live. It's those arrangements, how I feel, and it's some songs that we never did live in Maiden, like Como Estas Amigos. And for me, I'm known for the Clansman and Sign of the Cross, Man on the Edge, Future Real. But for me, my biggest song, for me personally, because of the emotions and what happened, and because I had a friend from school that died in the conflict with Argentina, then for me, Como Estas Amigos is my biggest song with Iron Maiden. And as a personal thing, when we did Headbangers open air, we did that with Lord of the Flies and a few other Maiden ones, not a complete Maiden set. It was fantastic, man. So this 30th anniversary, I'm really, really looking forward to doing those shows, a couple of different ones. So, yeah, it's very exciting. The songs aren't exactly the same as the record. I'm not that sort of artist. I write a song for an album to be recorded, and then I'm going, all right then, how is this song going to work live? What are the elements of this that are important, and how do I want to put that over and give that to my fans live? So it's a different way. Some people, they go, okay, how do we replicate this studio version live? I'm not like that at all. I'm taking, here is the song. That's the personality. That's the spirit. That's the soul. Here is the song. I'm not trying to replicate every detail. I'm going, how do I show and give my fan the feeling of the spirit, the soul of this song, of what I'm talking about? So I'm not concerned.
I love that.
And the detail, all of that. I'm concerned with, right, how does this guitar go into this vocal, and how do we do this? When we hit this snare, is this a softer snare to build, or is this crack? Yeah, that's what we do. And so we'll rehearse to do the live version of the song. It's not a replication. Everything at a Blaze Bayley concert is 100% live.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no sequences. There's no recordings. There's no pads. There's no triggers. There's no nothing. And I'm not criticizing other bands at all. So please don't think that. I'm just saying that at my concert with me and my band, what we are doing is getting together and having the experience of this song, connecting. And then we're connecting with our audience, trying to put that feeling to our audience. So you're not really coming to see Blaze Bayley. You're coming to be with me and be part of the experience, because you are the extra member of the band. The fan, my fans are the extra element. There's no concert without my fans. There's nothing worth doing without them. So you are part of it. You are right. You're coming in this. So that has to be 100% live. If I want to stop that song, I say, whoa, this is going shit, this gig. We've actually started. The gig has started. We're on stage now. You can stop texting. If I want to do that, I can. Because there's no triggers or lighting cues or fuck all, man. It's just, right, this is it. It's 100% live. It's going way back, way back. It's so old. It's such an old way of doing things, because it goes way back to when people were just like talking and communicating on stage. And that's what we try and do. At my concerts, we'll shout at the drummer, Martin, slow down, or whatever. Faster, whatever it is. Or, stop, no, stop, no, something's gone wrong, or whatever.
That's so great, man. That's so great, man. I'm afraid we have to wrap up. Maybe one more question. Can you give us a sneak peek into the future? I mean, will there be a new studio album in the near future? Any plans?
I think what we have to be aware of is I won't be using any AI or AGI on any of my records in the near future.
Yeah.
So
that's a relief.
What I can say is you're going to be the records that you get from Bayley are going to be 100% me and the band, and no artificial intelligence at all. So yeah, hopefully we'll be back next year with a new album, and we're very excited about that. And we'll see what happens. You know, at the moment, very focused on doing the end of the War Within Me tour.
Yeah.
Because I had a heart attack, man. You know, I was supposed to be coming to Europe on Monday. On the Saturday, I had a heart attack here at home. So I didn't make this interview, let alone the next tour of Europe. It was 10 minutes I had. The paramedic said 10 minutes. If we were there 10 minutes later, we just don't know. We don't think you would have made it. So
jeez, that's scary, man.
Lucky.
Oh,
and I was in hospital thinking, I thought, I don't want to come back here. I've got to get back to work. I've got to see my fans. I've got too much to say. I can't leave it like that. In the middle of the War Within Me, I just can't leave it like that. And then I was very lucky, top people, the surgeons, I had a quadruple bypass. They cut you in half.
Yeah.
And the guy said that the surgeon said to me, he said, well, we wire up your rib cage back together. He said, we've double wired you. So I'm even more metal than I was before. Even more metal. Come on, man. You want to try me? I'm more metal than you. I've got metal in here, man. Surgical steel. That's what I got. Yeah. But now I've got to come back. I've got to come back, man. I have to come back. I have to come back. That's it. However I do, I don't know. But I've got to find a way to come back. It's going well so far. And I just thank everybody for the support. My fans around the world have bought T-shirts for a tour that couldn't happen because I was in hospital. So, but that's kept me going. And now I'm talking to you, and I've got a tour planned and everything. I've got an album planned, my new album, my live album's doing great. We're talking to people about a new factory that we went to about making vinyl, special kind editions, and all sorts of really exciting things, man. So the biggest thing I can say is thank you to all of my fans and everybody in metal that supported me, and the letters and the cards that people have sent to keep me going, to make it feel like, yeah, it's worth coming back. People want to see me again. And just thank you so much to everybody for all the support that you've given me to make it possible for me to come back.
Best last words for this podcast. Absolutely. So we are happy that you're still here. Your fans are happy that you're still here. And even more, we're happier to see you soon live back on stage. Thank you very much, Bayley. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks, Sven. Thanks, Marcel.
And to be honest, you're a gift to metal. So thank you very much, and hope to see you soon.
Okay, thanks, man. See you soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye, Blaze.
See you.
Thanks. See you. Bye.